next morning, the sky darkened, and flakes of ash fell upon the forbidden temple. They gathered on willow branches and rooftops alike, carried in from the breeze from somewhere beyond the surrounding waters. It wasn't uncommon. Some days ash clouds would form like that, and instead of rain, such flakes would fall to the earth. Today was such a day. I found Dhalâra in the training yard. She moved near the center, katana in hand, her strikes fierce and rapid. The pale light of dawn caught the steel of her weapon, the blade glinting despite the rust, faint ash drifting through the air around her. When she saw me, she stopped, lowering the sword, and gave me a smile. Awkward as always, but warm. It was awful. She looked so happy. If only she knew what I knew. Everything she trusted, everything she was, rested on her faith in Azura and the gods she worshipped. I wondered, would she accept the truth if it was laid bare in front of her? Or would she deny it, reject it, repress it? Anything to keep her world from breaking apart. "Morning," I said, keeping my voice steady as I approached. Each step sent stabs of pain through my ankle, but I forced myself to walk evenly, to hide the limp as best I could. "Morning," she replied, tilting her head. Her gaze flicked downward before crawling back up to my cheekbones. "You're limping." "I twisted my ankle last night," I said, brushing it off like it was nothing. "Doing what?" "Something stupid." I unsheathed my katana, the sound of metal scraping faintly against the scabbard as it slid free. "Spar with me?" Her smile widened. The kind of smile you gave when you had no clue how badly your world was crumbling beneath your feet. "You sure you can handle it?" she asked. "That leg doesn't look great." "I'm good." I stepped forward, gritting my teeth as I planted my feet before her. Pain flared up my ankle, but I bit it down. "Ready?" "If you are." I nodded, and she struck. I sidestepped, but keeping weight off my bad ankle threw me off. I barely deflected her blow in time, the force shuddering up my arms, leaving my hands aching. "You're distracted," she said. "I'm fine." "Doesn't look like it." To prove her wrong, I lunged forward, shoving the pain aside. It hurt like hell. But I swallowed it down, telling myself that compared to having one's eye gouged out, this ankle nonsense was barely an itch. We fell into a rhythm, the sharp clang of steel ringing out with every exchange. The warm morning air buzzed with energy as we moved, faint ash swirling between us with each strike. Her movements fluid, mine uneven. I tried to focus on her blade, on the give and take of our sparring, but my ankle throbbed harder with every step, the pain and memories digging into my thoughts like 1,000 tiny splinters. Finally, I gave in. "Dhalâra, why did the Erden kill Lokash?" "What?" "Lokash," I repeated, angling my blade defensively as she readied hers to strike. "Why did the gods kill him? What did he do?" Her brow furrowed as she swung at my hips, slower now. "Why are you asking that?" "Just curious." "Didn't Azura tell you?" "Bits and pieces. Nothing clear." She struck again and I parried, her blade gliding along mine. "I'm not sure I'm the right person to explain. I'm just a warden." "You've told me things before, about Noragal Hara, that his cowardice nearly cost the Abyssal Ones everything during the War of Dawn, that this temple once belonged to his cultists." "Yes,
But the death of Lukáš isn't like that. It's monumental. Sacred. I don't think Azura would want me to.
Oh, to hell with her! I snapped, stepping forward too fast and planting my weight on the bad ankle. Pain shot up my leg and I flinched. Dhalâra's eyes narrowed.
Are you sure you're all right?
Yes, I said through gritted teeth, adjusting my stance.
You don't look it.
Never mind that, I hissed, pressing the attack to mask the limp. Why did the Erden kill Lukáš? What did he do? She paused, movement slowing, studied me.
What has Azura told you about it?
Only how they killed him. Vex'lankar learned his weakness, the raven bit his throat. Legina devoured him.
There's more to it than that.
Like what? I swung my blade. Dhalâra parried with ease. Calm, graceful, but her eyes had changed. A flicker of suspicion, sharp and crawling. She circled me, katana low, her gaze never leaving mine.
Vex'lankar sent her spiderlings into the pit of Hollow to learn Lukáš's weakness. 3 blood moons later, they returned with a message. Lukáš had a Nithanumic.
A what?
Nithanumic. It's like a secret name.
A secret name? I echoed.
It gives you power. But if someone speaks it to you, they gain power over you.
The air stilled between us. Then she struck. Quick. Sudden. I blocked just in time.
No weapon could touch him.
Dhalâra continued, and our blades scraped together.
He was the spawn of Naught. The one who tore free. The shatterer of silence. The sunderer of light.
Each title came with a strike, pushing me back step by step. Every second one sending a jolt of pain up my leg.
He was the one who broke the long quiet.
She continued.
The silence that Noina had kept since forever. But though the Erden knew now that he had a Nithanumic, they didn't know what it was.
What his secret name was, you mean?
Yes, but they knew someone who might. Someone who's known for harboring forbidden knowledge.
A chill crept down my spine. Norgal Hara.
Yes.
Dhalâra's expression darkened.
The abyssal lord of forbidden knowledge. The Erden asked him to give it up. He refused.
Why wouldn't he help them?
Who knows? Who cares? The tentacled willow is unfathomable. Might as well ask why the ocean does what it does. Point is, by refusing to help the Erden, he nearly doomed us all.
How so?
Because it nearly let Lukáš survive.
Yes, I got that part, I snapped. The pain in my leg was growing worse, and my patience was wearing thin. But why would that be the end of everything? Why did the Erden want him dead in the first place? I shifted my stance, but my ankle buckled. My balance faltered, and I bit back a whimper, clenching my teeth so hard it hurt. Dhalâra stepped back, her face drawn with concern.
We should look at that ankle.
I'm fine, I barked. She froze.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm not, I blurted. Too loud. I let out a breath, trying to pull myself together. Sorry. Just tell me what Lukáš did. Please. What could be so terrible that the Raven, Vex'lankar, and Legina joined forces to murder their own father? Dhalâra didn't answer, just stared at me, tilted head, furrowed brow, watching. The silence between us thickened. Come on, Dhalâra!
Why is this so important to you all of a sudden?
Her voice was softer now, but wary.
You've never talked to me like this before.
Her words hit a little too close, but I wasn't about to stop. I deflected, pressed forward, attacking with a quick strike. She blocked with ease, precise, controlled, but the tension still simmered beneath the rhythm of our blades. We fought in silence, the clash of steel echoing through the empty yard. My ankles stabbed with each step, pain shooting up my leg like splintered glass. Eventually I dropped back, lowering my katana. We began circling instead of sparring, her breath steady, mine shallow. Her face didn't change, but I could see it in her eyes. Suspicion, watching me, trying to piece together what I was hiding from her. I couldn't push too hard. Not now. If I kept pressing, she'd shut down, and I'd get nothing. I had to shift focus, steer her toward what I needed, without her realizing it. So, I said, ignoring her question. Forcing calm into my voice, I asked, how did the Erden learn Lokash's Nithanumic? If Norgal Harad wouldn't give it up, then how?
They went to the Lingering.
The Lingering?
Azura has lots of names for them. The Lingering, the Crowned Medusae, the Moon Jelly Kings.
The Moon Jelly Kings?
Survivors from a dead world. During the War of Dawn, Norgal imprisoned them in the abyssal depths of his vile library. They were the source of all his forbidden knowledge.
And they knew Lokash's Nithanumic?
They did. But they wouldn't give it up. Not until Vex'Lanka crept into their prison and struck a deal with them. Lokash's secret name for their freedom.
And they agreed? Dhalâra nodded.
Once Lokash was dead, she would set them loose, she said. So they gave her the name. She climbed back out of Norgal's realm, whispered the Nithanumic into Zaraven's ear. And you know the rest. He spoke it, then bit his father's throat.
And Legina ate him?
To make sure it was finished. Afterward, the Demora dug a pit, right here, deep into the bogs of Valeswood. Very deep. So deep, in fact, that it cut through the veil into Ocultania, where Norgal had kept the Lingering caged. And there, Legina vomited Lokash back out. A vast, reeking sludge, black as midnight. Azura says it was the size of an ocean. In fact, that's all that remains of the spawn of Nod. To this day, far beneath our feet, the sludge of Lokash.
And the Lingering? I asked. What happened to them?
Vex'Lanka kept her word. Azura says it was the only promise the Lady of Lies ever kept. She opened the gates, and the Lingering rose.
Rose?
Ascended. Through the veil, up into the air. Entire epics have been sung about that ascent. Great glistening bodies, translucent and immense, feelers trailing like mist. They floated higher and higher, gliding above the treetops. And when they reached the rim of the sky, they devoured the remnant of Noina's light, the stars themselves, and claimed their thrones in heaven.
Dhalâra's words lingered heavy as stone. I felt them press into my chest. Vivid images flickered in my mind. The Moon Jelly Kings, rising into the sky, bell-shaped and terrifying, devouring the light of the gods. I knew this foul myth. I'd heard it before, but I couldn't remember where. Then Dhalâra spoke again.
That's what your Imperial Church won't tell you. But here, we know the truth. The gods you worship in the Empire, the Seven, they are gone, Emilia. Death rules the world now, thanks to the Erden, and the Order of the Black Sun is honored to serve.
But why did they do it? I asked.
What do you mean?
I stepped forward, biting down on the pain in my ankle. Why did it all happen like that?
Because it was the will of...
The Erden, yes. But why did they will it? No one kills their father for no reason. Not even the Dhalâra. Surely.
It is too terrible to say.
Angered, I struck. Dhalâra deflected with ease, twisting her blade with such force it nearly tore mine from my grip. But I held on, pressed forward. She retreated, blocking everything I threw at her. I don't get why you can't just tell me, I panted, backing off. You clearly don't mind telling the rest. What are you so scared of?
It's not about that.
She scoffed.
It's about... Bah! Forget it.
What is it, Dhalâra?
Nothing.
Then why did they kill him? She hesitated. Her fingers twitched on the hilt.
He fell in love with a Lamé.
One of the seven?
Nara.
You mean Naria?
We call her Nara.
Okay. And? What of it?
She twisted his mind. He left the throne of sundered silence and sided with the Lamea.
I blinked, waiting for more that didn't come. The answer hung there, thin, almost pitiful. That's it, I blurted out. He fell in love with the enemy. That's the great sin?
You don't get it.
No, clearly not.
The War of Dawn was about the fate of the world, Emilia. Lukáš fought to keep it breathing, to let every ending feed the beginning, to let death keep the soil warm for what comes next. But Nara convinced him to abandon all that. He joined her, and together they committed the worst crime of all.
Which was?
They tried to rid the world of death.
Rid the world of death?
Yes, that's what the Lamea wanted. They wanted to cleanse existence, to bring back the long quiet. A world without death, without endings, without pain and growth. How can you not know that?
Well, honestly, I never paid much attention during sermons back home. And Dhalâra never mentioned this.
But it's true. Lukáš called for a truce. Beneath the world tree of Mordrasil, he gathered all the gods and spirits of the world, Lamea and the Abyssals alike. With Nara at his side, he declared that the war was over. The children of Noena would accept that the world remained a place of trials, full of pain and betrayal, anger and loss, merciless rivers and biting winters, just as the Abyssal ones desired. But in return, the Abyssals would agree to surrender the one thing this world needed most. Death. Yes.
None of those other hardships would even work without it. Imagine, how can winter bite if the green of summer never withers? How can there be loss if nothing ends? If nothing can be taken from you? So, the Erden killed Lukáš because he flipped to the side fighting for immortality.
Yes. Now I told you. And now you must tell me.
Tell you what?
Why you're asking me this?
No reason.
I already told you that. I don't believe you.
Call it idle curiosity if you will, I said, trying to derail the conversation by attacking her again. But I could feel the hesitation in my movements. My mind was distracted. The memory of Lakash's shrine, the Nightingale idols, the black books. Azura sneaking out of that garden, looking over her shoulder as though afraid of being caught. Lakash, killed by the Erden for betraying the war against immortality. Again, I stepped awkwardly on my ankle and faltered. Dhalâra pulled back, allowing me the chance to recompose myself.
You're lying,
she said, her fingers tugging at the skin around her nails. Yeah?
Yeah.
I scoffed. And how can you possibly know that?
Because Ezra...
She began but cut herself off. Her eyes widened, a flicker of dread crossing her face. Then she started clawing at her fingers again, harder this time. Her nails dug deep, dragging red crescents into the flesh around her nails until a bead of blood welled out. I had no idea why she did it. It was disturbing, to say the least. What do you mean, because Ezra?
I just know it, okay? I know you're lying to me right now. What did you do, Emilia?
Nothing!
How did you twist that ankle?
I told you, it was nothing. She grabbed her katana in both hands and attacked, and I stepped back to block. But too much weight landed on my foot. Pain shot up my leg, flaring into anger. A muffled cry escaped my lips, and I swung. Hard. I assumed she'd parry. She always parried. But not this time. My blade ripped into her shoulder. Deep. Blood sprayed. Dark. Spewing out, and she gasped, stumbling back. It poured from the wound, soaking her clothes, pooling at her feet. My chest tightened. I froze, horrified. She groaned, her eyes flashing with something raw and furious. "Gods, Dhalâra, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to..." But Dhalâra didn't listen.
Tell me how you twisted it.
"I'm only trying to protect you," I said, trembling. "Trust me, you don't want to know this." She dropped her katana, stepped into me, and shoved me hard, knocking the breath from my lungs. I staggered back, my ankle collapsing beneath me. It twisted with a sickening crack, like a branch snapping underfoot. Pain exploded through my leg, sharp and blinding, and I screamed as I hit the ground, my head slamming into the dirt.
Admit what you did,
she screamed. "I went to the sealed-off garden." Silence. Her eyes went pale. "No." "There you have it," I spat, clawing myself up to my knees. "Are you happy now? If so, just wait till I tell you what I saw there."
Don't.
I could barely hear her over the pounding in my ears. "You're oh so holy, Azura. She's not so holy as she says, you know." Dhalâra's eyes widened, the same flash of dread from earlier flaring across her face. And I couldn't help but notice the way her nails again dug sharply into the skin around her nails.
Not this lunacy again,
she said as I crawled to my feet.
I thought you were done with this.
I wish it was lunacy, for madness would be a damn mercy at this point. But no, it's real. All of it. All that crazy stuff I used to suspect. Now I know. Not only does she hide Nightingale's idols there, she has a whole shrine to Lakash. She is a traitor.
It's not true,
she shouted, I'd barely had time to make my accusation before she denied it outright.
You don't understand. Azura would never.
But she does. I saw it.
You're lying.
She is lying. About everything. She doesn't give a damn about the Erden. Not about you. Not about anything she preaches. Dhalâra, can't you see? She's the enemy. Hidden in plain sight like... I don't know. An Echerak in Vashia's clothing.
And why would she do that?
Gods only know what sick reasons she might have. Manipulating us all to follow one religion, all the while bowing to another behind our backs.
This isn't true. You hate her. You've always hated her. Why do you keep doing this? Over and over and over.
I stepped closer. Listen, Dhalâra.
No, you listen. You, with your voices in your head, telling you lies. You'd rather believe some sick dream than your own friend. I took you to Sench. You said your dreams mean nothing, and still you couldn't let it go. You hate her. You just can't let it go.
Shut up! You don't know what you're talking about.
It is you who don't know. This is my home. Mine, not yours. What right do you have to come and ruin everything?
Ruin everything?
Like all of your kind, damned Firage. You come and you claim. Take everything away. Everything you do not understand, you destroy. Like we're nothing to you. Bugs under your heel. Worms to squash like we're not even people.
That's not true.
Look, Lelesh needs Azura to protect us against the likes of you. But you can't see that. You refuse to change, to understand. You're a rich, spoiled, pathetic girl, floating above the filth of the world like you're better than us, on some cloud, incapable of dealing with the realities of the world.
You don't mean that.
I'm sick of you!
She screamed, her eyes welling with tears.
You're a child who won't grow up, never to learn, crying, whining, my eye, she took my eye, never accepting why she had to do it.
What? You think this is about my damn eye?
Of course it is. It's all you ever talk about. You're so blinded by what Azura had to do that you...
I'm blinded? You're the one who's blind. So brainwashed that you'd sooner scream and cry, apparently, than simply face the truth. You're being deceived. You're being manipulated.
And you're not? Letting voices in your head and madmen like Dren Arasith tell you what to think. You're insane.
Sench said it was real.
No, Sench said it was nothing.
I lied. To protect your bloody feelings for some reason. You know what he said? He said that the faceless voice has a will of its own. That it's seeking me out. That it's real.
And why should I believe you now?
Why should you believe Azura?
Because she's my mother.
Your mother is dead. She killed herself listening to that witch. Stabbed her own heart out. And somehow Azura made you think this was a good thing. You're so blinded by loyalty that you can't even see how messed up that is.
Do not speak about her.
You know why I asked you to teach me to fight? I said, throwing my katana to the ground at her feet. The blade landed with a sharp clank, scattering a faint puff of ash. It wasn't because I was afraid of Ezra. It was because I was afraid of you. You call yourself my friend, but you would slit my throat if Azura told you to. Dhalâra's gaze dropped to her katana, and for one brief, horrible moment, I thought she might reach for it. My throat tightened, tears pushing in my eye. My voice barely made it past a whisper, trembling with its weight. You'd do it, wouldn't you? You'd stab me right in the heart without a second thought. Because you don't know what it means to be a friend. My fingers found the foxpaw amulet at my neck. The one she'd given me, long ago, when I was still naive enough to believe we'd protect each other. I tore it free without thinking. The string snapped, and I hurled it into the ashen mud. Her head snapped up, her face raw, hurt, broken. Her half-gaze trembled as it met mine.
I hate you.
The words weren't screamed, but she might as well have stabbed me for all the pain they caused. My heart broke. I opened my mouth, lips trembling, but no words came. Dhalâra took a step back, staggering slightly. Blood ran in streams down her side, soaking into her clothes, dripping steadily onto the gravel. She leaned down, wincing, and picked up her katana, her bloodied fingers trembling as they closed around the hilt. She straightened and spat out her words like venom.
Ezra was right about you. You don't belong here. Azura and the Erden are unerring. But gods, it's hard to believe that now, knowing they picked you to be our next high priestess. The tears in my eye broke loose, spilling down my cheek. I wanted to say something, to hurl something equally cruel back at her. But I couldn't. Dhalâra didn't look at me. She just turned, clutching her side as she limped away. Blood smeared the stone in her wake, her katana dragging faintly behind her, its blade scraping softly. She didn't look back. I stayed where I was, staring at the blood she'd left behind. My ankle throbbed, sharp and biting, but it didn't matter. I hate you. That's what she'd said, the words reverberating in me like an echo. My legs weakened and I sank to the ground. Tears blurred my vision. I wiped at them, but more came. The anger was gone now, washed away by something colder, something dark and hollow. I hate you. The words drilled into me, carving something raw and aching into my chest. I pressed my arms tighter around me, squeezing until it hurt. Maybe if I held on tight enough, I could imagine it was someone else holding me. Someone who hadn't left me. Someone who still cared. But it wasn't the same. It would never be the same. Above me, the forbidden temple loomed, its shadowed terraces clawing into the sky. It had never felt so large, so heavy, and I had never felt so small. Maybe I deserved this. Dhalâra's voice echoed through me one last time. I hate you. But I don't hate you, I whispered. And I cried. Quietly, helplessly, until there were no more tears to cry.